As you know that we are celebrating the 75 years of our independence, Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Agriculture Skill Council of India is celebrating this year, organizing the series of webinars on the need of future skills in agriculture and allied sectors. And today is the 7th series with the theme, Managing Stress in Crop in Boosting the Economic Yield. Let me introduce myself, Santosh Kumar Panda, Regional Manager. With me, my colleague, Ms. Ekta Singh, who is looking after Industry Connect, has also joined with us. As you know that Agriculture Skill Council of India is working under that Ministry of Skill Development, Entrepreneurship, Government of India, as a sector skill councils for bridging the gaps in the skill requirement in agri and allied sectors and need for the future skills. Today, we have an esteemed speaker, Dr. Amit Tripathi, who is the CEO of the Geolife Agritech Private Limited. Every plant has its inbuilt genetic potential, which can be enhanced to maximize the productivity through adequate nutrition and plant stress management. It's very interesting topic today, and we will love to listen from the Dr. Amit Tripathi. Geolife, a resource-based crop nutrition, crop health and bioas global company. Geolife company serves in the agriculture, urban gardening, animal nutrition, and aquaculture in India and global market. Before joining the Geolife, Dr. Tripathi worked for the Indophil, DuPont, Biostat, Zytex, and BEC fertilizer in different capacity in India and international agri-space. He carries more than 2 decades of rich experience in agriculture input industry, majorly in the plant nutrition, bioas, and super specialties innovative solutions. Dr. Tripathi holds graduation and post-graduation in agriculture from the Jawaharlal Nehru Krishi Vishwavidyalaya, Jabalpur, that is in MP. He did his doctorate and postgraduate diploma in rural development. He completed the MBA with distinctions from Stanford University. He is corporate leadership speaker for IIM and IIT and closely associated with the different agribusiness management institutes. He also on DD1 as an agriculture expert for Krishi Darshan program. I welcome you for this hour's webinar. Before I request Dr. Tripathi, I requested all participants to post their questions on the chat box. As we have a separate question sessions post our presentations. Also requested, please keep you muted form so that there should not be any disturbance and we can listen to Dr. Tripathi's presentations without any problems. Thanks for your cooperations. Sir, I am welcome you to our series webinar, to this webinars. And now over to you, sir, for your presentations.
Thank you so much, Panda Saab. I am really very much delighted to be with Agriculture Skill Council of India's this webinar series. I feel privileged to be invited to deliver a speech, and that too on a very, very vibrant and vital topic of agriculture as of now and agriculture ahead. I have been understanding and I think that delivering talks and discussions that the next 10 years of Indian agriculture is going to be a paradigm shift example for entire world. The development in agriculture during last near about 50 years, it means the 5 decades, is going to be superseded by this decade of 2020 to 2030. I have already witnessed it not only in India but outside India as a global fire. The changes in agriculture, the thought process of agriculturists, the thought process of bureaucrats, technocrats, farming communities, the next generation of the farmers, huge dimensional difference. People so far have been understanding agriculture as only an occupation for the livelihood. The generation to come and the kind of focus from the government of India and state governments and the global, United Nations, that agriculture is going to be one of the key functions for the national economy. It is not only for the contributions on the state GDP or something, but I am damn sure that it is going to be a lever for the prosperity of the nation. It's my own thought. Moving ahead towards the topic, I would like to say that when we talk about agriculture and that pertains to India, I foresee a couple of things which has never got any kind of the light from any bureaucrat or technocrat or any corporates, and that is the section of stress management in crops. I was there in US for longer time. I have witnessed the kind of agriculture those peoples are doing. And all other countries who are already into the developed phase, those countries are developed because of their economical conditions and economy, where the economy is grounded with agriculture, and agriculture is stress-free agriculture. ये बात हम ना केवल एग्रीकल्चर पे, but when we talk about the human science also, ये बात बहुत मार्मिक बात है, बहुत हृदय स्पर्शी बात है, and it's a very very much touchable point that the moment anyone gets stress in life, whether it may be the internal stress, external stress, biotic stress, abiotic stress, the overall holistic performance of that man is getting badly affected. Plant is no exception. Agriculture is no exception. They also have their life, they also have their own intelligence system. I always keep talking that plants have their own intelligence system. And that intelligence system signals the moment plant comes into the stress. जैसे वो भापते हैं कि there is any kind of this, whether it will be the biotic or abiotic or any kind of challenges, the kind of signal system within the plant physiology that excites and that works, I think that very scientifically, even better than human. My own findings are there because of working on the ground for more than 2 decades in India and outside India, and particularly in this segment of the stress management to crops. I have a couple of things to talk today. So that was my introduction part about the topic, why I have taken this topic. My dear friends, we always keep talking and we keep reading that if you can put an example at your own home, there must be two plants. One plant is well nourished, well nurtured, well blessed, and completely loving plant. The performance of that plant, whether it will be the visual appearance of that plant, physiological appearance of that plant, will be certainly completely different from the plant which has already faced smaller challenges, brighter challenges, or any kind of the big challenges during entire, in the span of vegetative stage of life. The same thing is implemented and it is experimented at the field as well. At ground we have seen कि एक प्लॉट पे अगर कोई क्रॉप है जिसमें कोई स्ट्रेस मैनेजमेंट कंप्लीटली किया गया, कोई स्ट्रेस नहीं है, the yield quantum of that crop is higher than the plot where stresses are there but stresses are getting managed. No stress, and compared to the stress where the stresses are being managed, huge difference. That is not only in quantum, but along with the quantum, the quality performance of the farm produce, that is also quite different. हमने ये करके देखा है. I have personally seen it. The crop which is completely stress free, the yield of the quantum, that is, I think that 10, 15, 20% higher, there is no second thought. But even that, the quality of the farm produce, that is, I think that more than any value. Why? Because any stress plant can't produce what we expect. Now, I would like to take you a couple of slides I have prepared for you to talk in a structured way, and you can understand that, yes, where we are going to head this entire discussion. I hope slide is visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. So the topic has been already given by the ASCI. Managing stress in crop is boosting economic yield. Very very vibrant topic. I get excited the moment I read this topic. कि अगर प्लांट का स्ट्रेस हम मैनेज करते हैं, then other side we can say that we are boosting the economic yield of crop. What does it mean by economic yield? Economic yield doesn't mean only the quantitative yield, but it means the qualitative yield as well. And that is only possible when all the biometrical parameters of the crop, biometrical physiologies of the crop are well managed during the different phases of the life, then it happens. मुझे खुशी है कि आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव को जब एग्रीकल्चर स्किल काउंसिल ऑफ इंडिया दे आर सेलिब्रेटिंग एंड दे हैव organized this kind of the topic for the webinar. Before moving on the topic, there is a small introduction of my organization where I am working. That's a Geolife. So Geolife is a value-based, fast-growing, research-oriented agri-input company having reached at 70 plus countries with innovative plant nutrition, nanotechnology, microbial extract technology, bioeg and super specialties. The vision of the company is Geolife aspires to be a value-based organization. I can tell you that I have been working in different organizations. I have seen couple of companies in India and outside. But the moment we talk about our core values of our life, and we profess it, we characterize it, we adopt it, then it creates a difference. It's a distinguishing feature of our organization where we always keep doing the business with the values. So value-based organization where the lifetime relations are created. The mission is globally the best organization in specialty nutrient technology for agriculture. Wherever we are, we want to be the best into that segment. Now, I would like to take you people a couple of, I think that at a glance situation in Indian agriculture, then we'll take you to what is the stress, what is happening because of this stress, how to mitigate, how to manage these stresses, and then we'll come to the last conclusion point. So this is a first snapshot of where Indian agriculture is. You will find here that if I can take it like that, the 44% children under age of 5 years are underweight. That's a scenario. Second one is 72% infants are anemic. Third one is 1 in 9 person are undernourished in world. That's a recent data. The last one, 1 in 9 person are undernourished in world. Correct. See the situation of all these things which has to be arisen by the agriculture. Now, if that is the situation, and I can tell you that 1,80,000 mouths extra in the world every day, 1,80,000 extra mouths in the world every day for the feeding. But the land where the crop is going to be cultivated, that is limited. In India, agriculture provides almost 10% of total export earnings. Another point that in next slide you will find that in 1950s what was the GDP contribution, 1970 what was that, and again that has down, I think that decreased. Recently, since last year, it is again going to be upward, and last 2020 we have closed with a 19.9% GDP contribution in from agriculture to the national economy. Another alarming fact is there कि जिनको हम कहते हैं हमारे देश के अन्नदाता हैं, हमारे देश की पूरी रीढ़ की हड्डी है, मेरुदंड है. Who are those? We talk a lot of things about our farming communities, our farmers. We keep saying the sons of earth, धरती पुत्र. तो धरती पुत्रों की आज उनकी एक बेसिक आमदनी क्या है? What is their average income? So the data says that 6,500 rupees per month is the average income of Indian farmers. Do you think is it appropriate? No, not at all. Even it is very, very much lesser than a laborer who is doing since morning to evening, I think that hard work on the farm, and they can earn better. Another important, which is I think that in India, people are worrying about that, and recently our Honorable Prime Minister, Honorable Agriculture Minister, they have tried to improvise into that with 3 farm bills. So the segmentation of the farming community in India, that is again a challenge. As per the data, that out of 118 million farmers in India, the small and marginal farmer data, what it shows, that's huge. 70 million farmers are marginal farmers, less than 1 hectare. 21 million farmers are small farmers, 1 to 2 hectare. 16 million farmers are small, medium, and hardly 2 million farmers are the large farmer who own 10 hectare plus land. It is a challenging statement. How? Because the agriculture demands a lot of intervention of the technology, equipments, investments. But how it can happen? It can happen when the land size will be little bit higher, where the real application of the equipment implementation can happen. It is a big challenge. And because of that, the farmer's paying capacity is also so less, he cannot afford for the bigger technologies, for the global technologies. That is one thing. Now, another alarming fact I have brought for you, my dear friends, and that is, you know that India ranks second in world's population. Another very, very important aspect you would like to see that in India, world's 2% agriculture land is there. 2% agriculture land of entire world is there in India, where the 17% population of the entire world resides, and that is India. The point I was touching on during previous slide, that in 1950, the GDP contribution from agriculture was 57%, which has came down to 1971, it came to the 43%. And in 2020, it is 19.9%. It shows that in between this phase of 50 years, the focus on agriculture was very, very less. It was kind of negligible focus. I was talking to sometimes to one of the Chinese agriculture expert. I came to know that the financial assistance to farming community in China, that is one of the topmost priority. The biggest agriculture bank. But in Indian context, only the NABARD is there who is doing their best at their capacities. So agriculture financing is one of the most prominent sectors where the government has to pay attention, and it requires a lot of support system completely mechanized. That is there. Another very important fact, I think that most of you people would love to listen it, कि 1950 में 1950, one farmer was responsible to cultivate the food to feed 16 mouths. This is the data from FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization, United Nations. And in 1970, one farmer was accountable or responsible to cultivate food or crop for 47 mouths. This got increasing rapidly. 1990, one farmer for 100 mouths. 2010, one farmer for 150 mouths. And in 2020, the data says that one farmer has to cultivate the food to feed 200 mouths. My dear friends, does it not alarms? It certainly alarms that if that is the ratio and that is the rapidly increasing trend, one way, other way, the land is decreasing, the abiotic stresses are increasing, the biotic stresses are, I think that are taking to the crops. How and where we will manage it? It's a big, big, big challenge for every corporateers, for every bureaucrat and technocrats. Other aspects. People are saying, as the philosophers in agriculture, they are saying that by 2050, the global population will rise to 9 billion, out of which 1.7 billion will be in India. For that, if we want to feed the entire population, we will have to incrementally, I think that produce more 5.5 metric ton per year. It means the food grain production need to increase by 5.5 metric ton annually. How it will happen? Again, the question is there. It can only happen by 2-3 things. One thing which I have taken for my talk today, how to manage the abiotic and biotic stresses, number one. Because of that, the 65% plus yield can be protected and can be increased. Other aspect, how we can improvise the technological intervention in the field of agriculture. Those are the things. Now, again, taking you to the next level of Indian agriculture understanding. See, I think that we all know, हम सब लोगों को पता है कि पूरे संसार पे 70% is समंदर, ocean, and 30% is land. 70% जल है और 30% स्थल है. It is known fact. We have been reading since I think that school days. But the point of talk is that out of that 30% land, the agriculture land in entire world is only 12%. Very, very interesting point. 30% is total land. Out of 30%, 12% is only agriculture land. And that out of 12%, In India, only 2%. Try to understand. Out of that 12%, in India only is 2%, where the 17% of world population resides. And another paradox, what is that? Out of that 2% land in agriculture in India, 60% is got diagnosed and deteriorated by ICAR. कि 60% हमारी जो जमीन एग्रीकल्चर की है उसका वो भी बीमार है। और आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के कोई भी भाषण आप सुनिए, 15 अगस्त हो, 26 जनवरी हो, वो ये कहते हैं कि दोस्तों हमारी धरती माता आज बिना आवाज और बिना आंसू के रोती है। धरती माता बिना आवाज और बिना आंसू के रोती है। That is the statement of our honorable Prime Minister. Why he is saying that? Because he have understood the pulse of our Mother Earth. Where is the pain? So, my dear friends, if these all are the situations in Indian agriculture context, how to prevent it? How to improvise it? So, for that, the topic is there to give you a little bit brightness on the light on this. So let's come. I think that you could get connect with complete of I think that whatever I have spoken about the technological part, about the Indian agriculture at a glance, and the glimpses. Now see, if I have already spoken that only two ways are there. One is to manage, to mitigate the abiotic and biotic stresses. Another aspect is have a proper and better technological intervention in the field of agriculture. So what is stress? And why it is happening? How to remove it? How to mitigate it? How to minimize it? So stress is any kind of तनाव. आज अगर हम लोग अपने ऑफिसेज में काम करते हैं, अगर हम ये सोचें कि हमारे ऑफिस में अगर आज एक स्ट्रेसफुल एटमॉस्फेयर हो, बॉसेस के तनाव हो, बॉसेस के टेंशंस हो, क्लाइंट्स के टेंशंस हो, तो क्या आपको लगता है कि आप बहुत अच्छे तरीके से हेल्दी लाइफ यू कैन सर्वाइव और यू कैन लिव? नो. If that, I think that consistently it happens, then you will feel the blood pressure, diabetes, and all those things, and your overall performance will be hampered, and that's a sure and certain. Same thing with agriculture. So the moment plant faces any kind of the unwanted things in their life, that creates stress. And there are two kinds of stress which is categorized or bucketed. This is on the living and non-living. So one is the biotic stress, which is because of the pathogens, insects, and the herbivores. And another is the abiotic stress, which is because of the heat, cold, flood, imbalance on the nutrients, salt, and herbicide injury that is recently added as well. So the biotic stresses are the things which are because of the pathogenic or the biologicals or the living things, and abiotic which is because of the non-living things. That is a simple as per the definition. But both are very, 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 I think that damaging things for agriculture. Now, if I want to give you a little bit introduction about symptoms of the abiotic and biotic stress. So you will find here that abiotic stress, as I have told you, that heat, cold, drought, salt, metals, flooding, and biotic, that is pathogenic insect and I think that herbivore attacks. I've simplified it that if symptoms are affecting multiple species and the damage appears uniform and non-spreading, your plants are likely suffering from a type of abiotic stress. अजैविक तनाव, फ्लड आ गया, तूफान आ गया, टेम्परेचर बढ़ गया, रिलेटिव ह्यूमिडिटी कम हो गई, रिलेटिव ह्यूमिडिटी काफी बढ़ गई, टेम्परेचर डाउन हो गया, फ्रॉस्ट हो गया, all these things, and along with that nutritional deficiency की वजह से भी प्रॉब्लम आ गई, which is most significant as of now, that is abiotic. But the moment I talk about the biotic stresses, I would define here that if your crop symptoms appear on a single species are observed at irregular locations and seem to be spreading, probably your crop is suffering with a biotic stress. Right? Now, coming to the next. Going further on the biotic stress, so I think that I have already explained a bit on that, but what your simplification on that, what exactly biotic stress and how it affect your crop depending on your farm climate. Because the attack of the pathogen is directly or indirectly responsible because I think that kind of climatic conditions, kind of internal positions of the entire succulents in the plant system and entire metabolic process of the plant system. They invite different kind of the pathogens and insects. The moment the succulence is too high, the nitrogenous succulence is very high, the more attack of the sucking pest will be there. If the crop is very, very much sensitive and vulnerable, and the silica content on the crop surface or the epidermal level of the entire leaf and the stem is less, calcium level is less, the pathogenic attack from the cuticle and the stomata on the crop will be high. Chances are more. And the plant immune system, resistance system will fight, but it doesn't mean that always have to get chances to overcome on the pathogenic challenges. After that, some may not target plant species, but other may target multiple species. Understanding the disease or the pest affecting your crop is an important step towards treating it. Here in biotic stress, you can't treat the plant with a common generic medicine or generic thing. Until and unless you are not diagnosing exactly that what is the pathogen, which species, what is the intensity, and similarly for the insect, similarly for the other things, then you can treat the plant. Otherwise, no. Huge investment of the cost is there, but the control system is not there. Another very important thing I would like to bring you in your notice कि बायोटिक स्ट्रेस पे एक प्रॉब्लम ये होता है, प्लांट जब उसके सिग्नल देना चालू करते हैं, जब सिम्टम निकलने आते हैं प्लांट्स में, तो हम उसका ट्रीटमेंट की बात सोचते हैं. Till the incubation period of entire, I think that pathogen, nobody cares. ये तो ऐसा है कि जब हमको एनाफिलीज मॉस्किटो ने हमको कट किया, बाइट किया, तब हमको ध्यान में नहीं आया. जब हमको 21 डेज के बाद में मलेरिया के सिम्टम आना चालू हुए, देन वी गो टू द डॉक्टर एंड स्टार्ट टेकिंग मेडिसिन्स. बट ये 21 डेज में जो हमारी लाइफ, हमारी ह्यूमन बॉडी ने कंप्लीट स्ट्रेस फील किया, एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दैट वी गॉट अवर एफिशिएंसी एंड द प्रोडक्टिविटी. द सेम थिंग हैपेंस विद द प्लांट, एंड दैट्स अ काइंड ऑफ बायोटिक स्ट्रेस. कि बायोटिक स्ट्रेस पे भी इफ प्लांट इज not getting proper control at the beginning, at the initial stage of the infestation, that is sure and certain that plants total productivity will be badly hampered, right? And sometimes the mortality goes up to the 100% as well. Now, abiotic stress also, we always keep talking that the type of abiotic stress that affect your crop depends on the climatic and soil conditions. Understanding the acidity, nutrient and consistency and different other factors to the soil, that is most important, and they say that it is abiotic stress. और मेरे दोस्तों, एबायोटिक स्ट्रेस को कंट्रोल करना आसान नहीं है. बायोटिक स्ट्रेस को कंट्रोल करना आसान है, बट एबायोटिक को कंट्रोल करना आसान नहीं है. इसका कारण यह है, द रीजन बिहाइंड दैट व्हाई आई एम टॉकिंग दिस स्टेटमेंट, दैट इफ देयर इज अ ह्यूज रेनफॉल, यू डोंट हैव एनी कंट्रोल टू से भगवान इंद्र को कि नहीं हम तो गोवर्धन पर्वत उठा लेंगे, आप तो रुक जाओ. वी कांट से. देन व्हाट वी कैन डू? टेकिंग द अम्ब्रेला. And the same thing is in abiotic stress management in the plant life. How we can do? एक बहुत सिंपल एग्जांपल मैं देता हूं. If there are two person, मैं हूं और संतोष पंडा जी हैं, और हम दोनों लोग एक ही जगह पे दिल्ली पे हूं, और हम दोनों लोग अगर रेनफॉल की पहली बारिश हो रही है सीजन की, and we both are going outside to the room, and we are completely wet on the first rainfall, it means that all the bacteria, virus and the fungi of the environment, they are coming down through the rainfall, and we both are they are falling upon us, and we both are completely wet. और पंडा जी और त्रिपाठी जी दोनों रूम के अंदर आते हैं, and then you see that what will happen. After half an hour to 1 hour, Dr. Amit Tripathi will search the crocin, paracetamol, and sneezing, headache, fever, and after some time he will go to the bed. And what will happen with Panda ji? He will have a cup of coffee and smiling faces and at the garden. Why? Do you think that the reason behind my disease or my sickness was those bacteria, virus and fungus? Not at all, not at all. आज भी नहीं कहता हूं, and you will find one more important slide in my, I think that last slides, where one very important, very intelligent agriculture philosopher has said one very important thing. कि pathogens are not real cause of plant disease. which I want to connect through the dots, particularly in this slide, that Santosh Panda ji isliye bimar nahi pade because his entire immune system was so strong that could fight with the pathogen, and the pathogen were defeated and he was fine. But in my case, it doesn't mean कि पैथोजन को पता था कि नहीं डॉक्टर अमित त्रिपाठी तो बॉम्बे से आए, इनके ऊपर पड़ जाओ, इनको बीमार कर दो. No, it was not. Because of my improper nourishment, inefficient resistance power, I got sick, and I think that I have again to be recovered. और वो sickness के time को जो हमारी productivity loss है, that can be measured into the quantifications. So my dear friends, these are the very, very important challenges which has to be addressed. Now, another very important slide I have brought for you. Now let's understand that losses due to biotic stress. क्योंकि agriculture में क्या losses होते हैं? हम लोग बात करते हैं बड़ी-बड़ी कि biotic stress से ये है, abiotic stress. Let's conclude that to the research paper. The research paper says, and that's also from the government of India, which was published in 2007-2008, that there are name of the crops. Their actual production is already there. Approximate losses in yield that is there because of the biotic stress, and the data shows that in cotton, abiotic stress has decreased the yield by 30%. Rice, 25%, maize, 20%, C, 20%, 30% yield losses because of the these challenges, biotic losses. It's very, very significant. Very, very significant. Another data says in this pie chart that insect damage, because of the insect damage, the losses on the yield is registered 26%. Because of the disease, it is 26%. Because of the rodents, it is 15%. And because of weeds, it is 33%. See, these are the data. And if you see the monetary losses, that is also calculated here, that how much total quantum loss is because of this biotic stress, poor management. Now, how to manage it? So there are a couple of things, control system. कि एक part है कि enhancement of the natural enemies and antagonists, which we talk about the integrated pest management, IPM. Couple of scientists, they have already written their article that IPM, when it is connected with the INM, integrated nutrient management, the pathogenicity or pathogenic attack in the crop is comparatively very, very less, where the IPM and INM together in sync are not being used. So one is the enhancement of natural enemies and antagonists. Other is the resistant or the tolerant cultivars. Right, that is important. Diagnosis, precision support, that is there, and the biological and the physical control systems should be there. And last, the chemical, because the responsive direct crop protection is there with a lot of novel chemistries being evolved by the different multinational companies. You might be observing in industry that every year 3-4 new chemistries are coming in the market, and they are taking over for a couple of years, and after that they are going to be distinguished, and I think that after that lot of generic molecules they are coming. But the current scenario in across globe, that is movement towards biological control system. It may use, I think that it can tell that for longer period it will not give that real-time impact, but the proactive approach into that will give a lot of good benefits, which is happening. Now, another very important slide, that what is the yield losses because of the abiotic stress. Recently, you have seen by biotic stress. Here you can see the yield losses because of the abiotic stress management. And the data says that yield impact from abiotic losses for major crops, that if you see the complete green part, that is average yield, little bit above to that is biotic losses, and above to that is abiotic losses. You will find here that highest losses are registered by the abiotic losses, although people are not able to quantify it because it is not like pathogenic attack, not like visible insect attack. So sometimes it happens that people are just underestimating it. I can tell in other words, but it's a fact that if if crop is facing the abiotic stress, the physiological process of the crop will be stagnated or somewhere it will be stopped. And that will yield a very, I think that significant loss on the yield, very drastic losses on the yield. So what to do? I can tell you here that right crop inputs fortify against abiotic stresses. So what is that? What does it mean? It simply means the example which I have told for Santosh Pandaji and Dr. Amit Tripathi. If the right nutrition at right stage with right dosage and right form is given, it will give lot of inbuilt resistance, inbuilt immunity system, inbuilt strength to the plant to fight against biotic and abiotic stresses. Right? And because of that, I can tell you that right crop inputs fortify against abiotic stresses for avoidance, for tolerance, and for acclimations. In my company, my organization, we have developed a package called Complete Nutrition Package, CNP. I had given one speech to BASAI, Biological Association for Agro Inputs and something, and the topic was there that how we can control the entire pathogenic, entomogenic attack through complete nutrition package. Although it's a complete contradictory statement. I know that I'm making this statement particularly in this forum, but I have the scientific proof to witness is to certify it that why I'm telling it. My dear friends, you all are quite intellectual people. You have to pay your attention that the nutrition management in human life, animal life, and the plant life is of utmost importance. And this statement is also getting certifications by this pandemics. कि पेंडेमिक में आपके पास करोड़ों रुपए रखे हों, लेकिन इस कोविड ने आपको छोड़ा नहीं. जाने कितने लोग ऐसे हैं जिनको ऐसा नहीं कि कोविड ने आकर के टच नहीं किया होगा, पर पता भी नहीं चला कि कब कोविड आया और चला गया. Right? Why? Because the pathogens of the COVID, they had touched us, but our the body's immune system, they had defeated them. Why? Because of the proper nutrition management, complete nutrition management, and the farmers are most deplorable person. Although we have a huge respect for them, they are अन्नदाता, but उनका awareness level, knowledge level अभी भी बहुत educate करना बाकी है. जिसपे कभी बार recently I was there with Honorable Agriculture Commissioner of India, Dr. Malhotra sir. We had a very good discussion on this particular aspect, how we can control it. And he is also a very scientific man. He understood the thought, and then I think that together we are thinking to work for some biopesticide and the biological segments over there. Right? So that's a life. Now, if we talk about the abiotic stress management, nutritional supplement, which I have already told, that lot of losses of the crop can be prevented because of the nutritional supplements on time, in real form, bioavailable form to the crop at the right stage. If whatever I have talked so far, if all those things are right or wrong, it should not be like that, it's a statement of Dr. Amit Tripathi. I'm not the political leader, So whatever I am talking, I have to justify to the facts and figures. We are the corporate ears, and that figure is here I have brought for you. Earlier, it means since 1950 till now, people were running behind agriculture to feed their stomach. लोग क्या करते थे कि भूख खत्म करना है. Is it the scenario as of now? No, not at all. आज की डेट पे people are not worrying about only the yield per acre. But the next gen in agriculture is going to talk about the health per acre. आज भी एक टाइम था जब दो कार्ट लगे हो, दो ठेले लगे हो और एक में एप्पल रखा है जो थोड़ा लाल भी है, पीला भी है, सफेद भी है, हरा भी है, 50 रुपए केजी. Another cart is there which is carrying the apple, complete dark red color का एप्पल है, किन्नौर का सुर्ख लाल रंग का एप्पल है, with complete bold brightness on the pericarp of the apple. And the rate is 60-70 rupees per kg. 1950, 1960, 1970, 1999, 1920, people were definitely might be going to the 50 rupees per kg. 10 रुपए सस्ता है ना, थोड़ा लाल पीला नीला है चलेगा. आज हर आदमी, इवन गांव का छोटा से छोटा आदमी भी 10 rupees, 20 rupees extra पे करने को तैयार है, but they need the quality of the fruits because their paying capacity has, I think, that elevated. And I can tell you from this forum that the next revolution in agriculture is going to happen not only for yield per acre, it will happen for the health per acre. Remember it. The previous revolution in agriculture was because of the dwarf high yielding varieties by Honorable Dr. Amit Swaminathan sir. And again, I'm giving one very, very important statement here that the next revolution in agriculture will be through microbial word in the agriculture, application of the microbial word in agriculture. जब तक soil microbiome ठीक नहीं होगा, atmospheric microbiome ठीक नहीं होगा, आज जिस सिचुएशन पर हम जीवन जी रहे हैं कि हमारा और भी तेजी से हमको आगे नुकसान की तरफ लेकर के जाए. Cost of cultivation is increasing like anything. Uncertainty in agriculture, productivity is increasing like anything. Where the farmer will lead. And this is the thing which is coming in India as of now. It has been already in the countries like who are developed. अमेरिका में आपको पता है पूरे यूएस की पॉपुलेशन का केवल 2% पॉपुलेशन एग्रीकल्चर करता है. Only 2% population are doing agriculture in US and they are feeding 100% population. In India, 60% population is doing agriculture. Right? कैसे यहाँ पर हमारा इकोनॉमिकल बैलेंस आएगा? And another important thing you understand that 2% people doing agriculture in US, they are contributing 6 to 7% GDP. But in India, 60% people doing agriculture and contribution in GDP is only 20%. 1/3 and 3 times. These things has to be addressed. It's a very, very appropriate time which is knocking the door of Indian agriculture, my dear friends. Global scenario says that abiotic stress solutions are picking up like anything. And because of that, in 1950s, or I think that in even 1990, 2010, 2000, the agrochemical CAGR growth rate was 10% above, which is now only 3 to 4%. But the growth rate on the CAGR of the plant nutrition and bioagriculture across globe is 14%. And I can tell you with guarantee, it is going to be upward. 14%, 16%, 18%, it is going like that. So remember by this statement, you can take the screenshot of this statement at the slide that the people were talking about yield per acre and people will be talking about health per acre. That's a statement made by us. Now, how industry is witnessing it? The industry is witnessing by a lot of mergers, acquisitions, for the want of having the portfolio of the abiotic stress management into their product basket. You take any multinational company, big multinational company who has not gone for the merger and acquisitions, they all are doing. You talk Syngenta, Bayer, Compo, Velacro, DuPont, Agrinos, Sumitomo, every company. I think that much detail about this because I've been to the industry. I have to keep eye on the competitors as well. Another part in India, what is the CAGR growth rate of different segment under the abiotic stress management? So biopesticide, 17.37% CAGR growth. Biofertilizer, 14%. Bionematicide, 13.4%. Biostimulant, 10%, which is further going up. PGR, 3.6%. And bioherbicide, it is also reaching very soon to in a broader, I think that spectrum of the customer base, it is with 19%. My dear friends, future of agriculture, what is that? Always keep in my statements in your mind that stress-free farming will be the future of agriculture in India. I can tell it. And yesterday only I delivered a lecture at School of Rural Management at KIT Bhubaneswar, and the topic was nutrition sensitive farming. That is directly or indirectly relating with the stress-free farming, right? Another important statement and the quote, which I have mentioned during my previous slides, Pandaji, it's a very important slide which I want the attention of everyone, that McDowell Fanville was a state by a scientist, and he had said that कि pathogens are not real cause of plant diseases. मतलब ये बड़ा इतना contradictory statement है कि पैथोलॉजिस्ट लोग तो मानने को तैयार नहीं थे. ये कैसे हो सकता? How it can happen? We have been, I think that studying in agriculture books and everywhere, the pathogens are the real cause of plant disease. But the scientist McDowell Conville is denies. Then what he says that they only attack unsuitable varieties or improperly grown crops. Their true role in agriculture is that of censor for pointing out the crops which are imperfectly nourished. Disease resistance seems to be the natural reward of healthy and well-nourished protoplasm. How important is this? I can talk particularly on this slide for entire day. It's a so interesting thing, so interesting thing. और आप यादव साहब भी हैं, बाकी सभी लोग हैं, मैं आपको एक चीज बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंट आपको बताऊं, ये जो स्टेटमेंट है, ये स्टेटमेंट आज से नहीं है, श्रीमद भगवत गीता से अगर आप कनेक्ट करेंगे, यू विल फाइंड देयर। मैं ये बात कई बार कहता हूँ, व्हेन द लॉर्ड कृष्णा वाज चाइल्ड, जब वो छोटे बच्चे थे, मिट्टी खाते थे, आप सबने सुना है, और उनकी माँ डंडा लेकर के पिटाई करती थी, नहीं तो तुम मुंह खोलो कन्हैया, यू हैव टू ओपन योर माउथ। बट द लॉर्ड कृष्णा वाज नोइंग दैट आई एम द गॉड, he was also knowing that my mother doesn't know that I am God. He was not opening, but the moment mother, I think that beaten that you have to open, and he opened his mouth, you know what that his mother saw. Mother has seen that yes, एक एक पार्टिकल, मिट्टी के एक पार्टिकल में पूरा यूनिवर्स दिखाई दे रहा था, पूरा ब्रह्मांड दिखाई दे रहा था. साइंस इज फ्रॉम देयर. It's not only story, there is a science, and the science says that each and every particle of the soil is consisting of entire universe, and that's a fact. So ये तो हम आज साइंटिफिक बात कर रहे हैं, but it's time immemorial. People might not got the scientific rationality behind that at that time, but that was already proven. With this note, I came to the conclusion that Sahi Poshan Desh Roshan, right? Together we can make the difference, and now time has come to take the note that yes, if really we are together and we want to do something great for the Indian agriculture, it's a very, very appropriate time we must embark upon. If you ask me, I am so excited to I think that be the part of the change in Indian agriculture, be the part of the change, and I am damn sure that the Indian agriculture is going to be witnessed by across the globe within this entire decade. ये जो पूरा 10 दशक है, इस दशक के अंतर पे आपको पता चलेगा कि इंडियन एग्रीकल्चर में कितने बड़े चेंजेस आ रहे हैं. हम लोग ग्राउंड लेवल पर काम करते हैं, हमें मालूम है कि क्या पल्स है. The kind of farmers orientation, high degree of application of the artificial intelligence into the agriculture, that is going to be a miraculous change in the field of agriculture. E-commerce application, supply chain system, right? And जिस तरीके का भी ऑनरेबल प्राइम मिनिस्टर जी का फोकस हो रहा है इंडियन एग्रीकल्चर के ऊपर, I really appreciate that. I can tell that very soon you will find that Indian agriculture has the potential to lead the entire world's agriculture, and that's sure. आज अगर हम बात करते हैं कि दुनिया के कई देशों में लोग एबायोटिक और बायोटिक स्ट्रेस को मेजर करने के लिए रेडियो आइसोटोप टेक्निक यूज करते हैं. लोग तरह तरह के अदर टूल्स एंड कंप्यूटराइज्ड सॉफ्टवेयर यूज करते हैं. In India also, intelligence is not less, but the affordability was a question. The financial assistance system was a question. Now, which is going to be addressed very soon by our agriculture ministries, and the kind of focus bureaucrats and technocrats are going to pay with this entire agriculture system. So with this note, thank you so much, Pandaji, for providing the opportunity. I think that I am still so excited to talk with your people. I think that in your next time, whenever you will give another opportunity to talk to us, to meet to us, to entire team and the peoples, we will be happy to deliver and to get connected. That's all from my side. Over to host.
Thank you, Dr. Tripathi, for your detailed and brief introductions about this very interesting topic. Right now, we are moving in the stress conditions. So just to imagine how you people are working and to measure the abiotic stress that the plants are having and how we can manage the abiotic stress. That's a very important thing. And also you will elaborately discuss about how the IPM and the INM can be integrated so that there is not be any economic loss to the yield. So we have a little one, two questions from the participant side. We can take it. One question, what is the best practice as per your experience to manage the abiotic stress?
It's a good question from, I hope, Vandana ji का question है.
Yeah.
Right. It's a very good question. तो उसके लिए हमने एक बड़ा अच्छा आंसर दिया था कि कंप्लीट न्यूट्रिशन पैकेज. एबायोटिक स्ट्रेस का अगर फैक्टर है तो हमने जो संतोष पंडा जी को डॉक्टर अमित त्रिपाठी के एग्जांपल दिया, दैट्स द मोस्ट एप्रोप्रिएट एग्जांपल, एंड दैट्स कोई भी आदमी कभी भी करके देख ले पंडा जी, दैट्स अ फैक्ट. Open challenge is there. So for that, the complete nutrition package, what nutrition has to be given to the crop at what stage, that is to be predetermined, pre-available, and in a bioavailable form. Right nutrition at right stage, in right form, at right dose, that is the best solution for abiotic stress management.
One more thing from my side, how, because our farmers are literally totally illiterate, they are not that much of techno savvy to adopt the new things. Measuring the stress in the farmers field, as you said, that's when we see that the effect, then maybe the internal losses will be happen to the plant. So there is a economic loss definitely, because the crop has the duration, is the fixed duration is there. Suppose they say the productive phase, they are having this type of stress, then definitely yield will be less. So how we can address these the common problems to the farmers, how they can be get that, how the plants are right now in the stress conditions?
Very good. I think that since कई साइंटिस्ट लोग भी हैं अभी इस ग्रुप पे, मैं देख रहा हूँ केवी के नवादा से हैं और सुधीर साहब हैं, कई सीनियर लोग भी हैं. एक बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है संतोष पंडा जी, जो मैंने फील किया कि जब लोग ये कहते हैं ना कि भाई हमारे जो फार्मर्स हैं, दे आर, उनका अवेयरनेस लेवल बहुत कमजोर है, दे आर लीस्ट पीपल इन वर्च्यू ऑफ देयर नॉलेज एंड ऑल. Sometimes I do not agree with that. During my PhD work, I was traveling to the field and I got a very, very good experience. मैं मध्य प्रदेश के सीधी डिस्ट्रिक्ट पे था, from where the Arjun Singh was there, the home minister and all. So I went to a farmer farm. Farmer के plot पे जाकर के I asked farmer that how do you manage the insect attack in your paddy crop? Farmer what they replied? They replied that sir, there is a hill station nearby my farm. We go there, we cut the twigs of the healthy plant. There is one plant, and we bring that plot, the twigs in my plot. We dig that twigs into the plot where the paddy is flooded with the water in 5 by 5 meters, and then we see within 24 hours there is no insect. Then I asked that, since when you are doing? They said, no, sir, I can't reply because it's since time immemorial. My forefathers have been doing it, so we are also following. Then I asked that, why you are doing this? No, sir, I don't know. But एक चीज है कि सर ये करने से गंधी बग पूरा भाग जाता है, इसलिए हम करते आ रहे हैं. I went with them to the hill, identified the twig that was from Anacordiaceae family, brought the leaf to my college, and gave to them to develop a biological pesticide. The plant was carrying a specific gene कि उसकी वजह से वो प्लांट को, जब आप उसको ट्विग्स को, फ्रेश ट्विग्स को प्लानी वाले फ्लडेड प्लांट पे आप लगाते हैं, तो within minutes that secretes a kind of secretion and that work as a repellent odor for all insects. See the scientific rationality behind that. हमको आपको नहीं पता. Farmer we are doing that, right? So that is already there. Now you are very rightly talking that how to manage the economic yield is there, because I think that crop अगर stress condition में है, we can't expect from the crop for its best delivery in terms of the quality and in terms of the quantity. So I think that to manage that, we have to manage again the ground of that, and that is how to manage abiotic stresses. So manage abiotic stresses, it requires a lot of attention for the proper nutrition management, proper nourishment, and for that kind of biostimulants, kind of different, I think that products are there in the market, they are going to play a very, very vital role. So if the plant system is completely understood by the farming community or by the scientists or by the agriculture people, by private companies, they have to educate to the farmer in a scientific manner so that farmer can understand and they can take the full benefit of that.
Yeah, any more questions from the participants who would like to ask any questions particular to Dr. Tripathi? So I'm not seeing any questions from the chat box. That's why I'm asking. If anybody is there, he can unmute himself and can ask questions.
Later also, I think that if not now, they can think later and they can send the questions through WhatsApp also to me and through social media. I'm active over there. I will be happy to reply.
Thank you, sir. On behalf of the Agricultural Skill Council of India, thanks to Geolife AgriScience, and in particular to Dr. Tripathi for his time and for his presentations to highlight the need of these valuables, the important topic right today he has delivered. Thanks to all participants for joining us. I would like to thank to my team also who are from the HO for their support to organize such webinar series. Last but not the least, I would like to extend my CEO, Dr. Satendra Arya, for his leadership, and under his guidance, we are committed to take the responsibility for transferring Indian agriculture and allied sectors to skill developments. Looking forward to connect you in our future webinar series. Thanks and bye-bye to all of you. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Jai Hind.